Welcome back to the channel. We just finished the Tour de Mont Blanc, actually still in Chamonix in France. We finished here just a little while ago, still haven't even showered yet, just checked into the room. And while I have my pack here, I thought I'd go through what I had in the pack for this particular trip and what maybe I would have done differently, maybe done the same. Not a lot of changes actually to the gear list, but I'll go through those as we go. First of all, I hiked in the Lone Peak 7s. They served me well. I wasn't super thrilled with the colorway, but I liked it the best out of the other ones. My sock system that worked best is just a pair of Injinji liner socks with Darn Tough over top. That really works well for me. No blisters, no issues with my feet. I did try the Creeper socks the first day, and those were fine, but I felt like I might be getting a little bit of a hot spot, so I went back to this method that had been tried and true. The trekking poles that I used for this particular trip, which is the same ones I've had for a while, are the Gossamer Gear LT5s, super light. They worked great. I haven't really had any issues with these. I know some people have had some issues with them breaking. I've not had any of those problems with this particular set of poles. They've done great. As far as my pack for this trip, this is a new pack for me. This is the Ranger from the Evolved Supply Company. Actually on this trip, Darwin, the founder of this company, was on the trip with us, and so it was interesting to talk with him some about the pack and the design processes and whatnot. The pack served really well, carried well. It wasn't packed down. We didn't require tents on this particular trip. We weren't carrying a ton of food, but we did have some other items that we had to carry, and so it did great. I really enjoyed the bottom pocket, especially for trash. That worked out well. I did take this on a climbing adventure here recently, so there were a couple little scuffs on the mesh, but it held up well. But really no complaints. He actually gave us a little tutorial about rolled the top down a little differently, and that worked out well. But I did use the detachable hip belt that he has. I did add some other pockets from a different company, because at the time that I purchased this, there were no pockets available from their company. So, like I said, worked well, no complaints, carried extremely well, and we were on the trail for, 8 days or so, and each day it did a great job. I'll go through the pockets kind of individually here and just show you what I had. I had just a water bottle here, and then a smart water bottle in the other pocket. For additional water, on the other side, I had a collapsible knock, or Sanok, however you say it, Vecto, that I used for the days that we had to carry a little additional water. Also in the other side pocket, I had my tripod. I did not use this once, so I probably would not have carried it again. It was mainly for my camera, but I didn't really use it at all, so carried it around. I did also carry a water filter. Really didn't need it. We mainly stopped at places where there were water sources, but had the Platypus Quick Draw. We did use it once. One of the guys filtered from a stream, and he used this, but I didn't use it at all. And then our guide actually provided us each with a little cup, because she brought water and instant coffee that we had often on the trail. So that was handy, and that was in the other pocket there. As far as the hip belt pockets, I kind of moved things around throughout the trip, but on this side I had a little journal. I actually didn't journal at all on this. Mainly it was all videos. My passport was in here. Little zip chip, just for do it around a couple times. And then I had a stick of sunscreen, some Pepto that was left in there, and then I had a emergency whistle, and finally chapstick, which is now in my pants pocket. On the other side, there's an extra Ziploc bag, little clothesline. I didn't use it at all, probably would not have brought it again. My son has a tree nut allergy, so I had his EpiPen in that pocket. Another little, just a towel, my headlamp, small lens cloth, just a small knife, flashlight, and then this is for adjusting for my camera. On the front pockets here, I had the Peak Design capture clip. I used that with my Fuji Film X-T4, and that worked out well. I've used that several times. A little hand sanitizer, and then up here I would keep my sunglasses case for my Ombras sunglasses, and then usually just a snack or electrolyte packet, something like that. As far as the mesh pockets, I had my just wind jacket. This is from Outdoor Vitals. I don't remember what the name of it is. Did get a little pesto on it one day at lunch, but I'll get that cleaned out. This is my poop kit in the outside pocket. Rain jacket. This is the shell from Peak Design to cover my camera when we had inclement weather. Let's see what else we got in here. Emergency blanket. Didn't use it at all, but probably not a bad idea to have. And that should be on it for the outside pockets. Oh, I did have this little attachment point from Gossamer Gear that I used for my sandals. All the refugios and hostels that we stayed in asked us to take our shoes off downstairs and leave them, and so we needed something to walk around. Most of them actually provided Crocs, but I had brought my own sandals and used those. All right, as far as inside the pack, I'm just kind of open up this strap here, unroll, unclip. Here in the top is just trash from lunch today. I had my couple extra toiletries, including soap, some sports cream, toothbrush, toothpaste, hydration packs. This is what I also had some snacks in. I'll set this down on the floor, easier to get to. First aid kit, pretty typical of and then inside like a nylon pack liner, kept everything else. I did have a belt. I did not use this once. I did have a pair of hiking pants. The only time I used them was when we went out to dinner when we were in a town, but I probably would not have used those. I did use these shorts from Cool, and then another pair of shorts from 10,000 that I mainly slept in. But belt, knee sleeve, also did not use that once, so that probably could have stayed at home. Rain pants, they advised us to bring rain pants. I considered using these one day, did not use them at all. Again, probably could have been left at home. This I did use. This is the alpaca hoodie from Appalachian Gear Company. In the evenings it was pretty cool, and so I did use that a fair amount. And then this was a quick drying towel from Matador. It did dry quick, it served its purpose, it's light. It does not dry you off very well when you get out of the shower, but you know, it did its job. As we get on down in the pack, I had a camera pod from Hyperlight Mountain Gear. I only used this really one day for the camera when we had some pretty bad weather from a rain perspective and hail. I packed my camera away in the bag, and that worked out great. When I wasn't using it for the camera, I had the extra plug for, since we're in Europe, my electronics bag, which includes my battery and cords and earplugs and whatnot. A little Rology cork foam ball. I probably should have used that more than I did. Extra batteries for my camera, the charger, and then my Google buds, earbuds. This bag was just clothes, mainly sleep clothes. There was an extra sun shirt in there. I mainly wore it around camp. I did wear this Merino sun hoodie from Outdoor Vitals just about every day. Have a couple pair of creeper socks and just kind of rotated through a couple of different things. I could have got by with less clothes, and next time I would probably pack a little bit less. And then all the way down in the bottom out is a pod from Hyperlight Mountain Gear. In it, I did have a sleeping bag liner. Probably could have done without this. They did have blankets at pretty much all the places, but I did use this a few nights. It was comfortable, but this is from Appalachian Gear Company as well. A backpacking quilt or something like that would have been sufficient. I did have a insulation layer. This is more of a puffy jacket. This is also from Outdoor Vitals. I did not use this once. I probably could have sometimes in the evenings, but I was comfortable in the hoodie. But it's good to have. I would have brought that again. There's those pants I was talking about that I didn't wear. I had a beanie from Appalachian Gear Company as well. Did not use that, or these fingerless gloves from Sims. Those were not used either. But again, I probably would have packed those. And then this was just a bed liner, like a sheet for travel to just help protect the bed and protect me from whoever slept there before I did. And that worked out fine. It was just Amazon. Finally, I did bring a pair of gaiters. I didn't use these. They weren't really necessary for this particular trip. So all in all, it was a great trip. I was pretty happy with the setup. I would have left the rain pants at home, maybe the other pants. Probably wouldn't have brought the tripod, a little less clothes. But overall, I was pretty happy with the gear that I brought. The pack did fantastic. Really had no issues with it at all. It carried well. It was very comfortable for what I had in it, and I could have packed it even lighter. And I think it would have been fine if I had actually packed it heavier as well. Well, I hope this helps. Hope this is informative. If you get a chance to do the Tour de Mont Blanc, I would recommend it. We used Vagabond Trails. We were really happy with the service, the communication back and forth. The guide that we had was really great, and it was a great trip to be able to meet and discuss gear and life experiences and all those things with people from all over the United States and actually all over the world. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Until next time, get outside.